What's up? My name is JD,
I'm Katie.
and I'm going to say this again because my mic was muted, and I'm sure you guys couldn't hear us over
Oh
the mic
no,
being
that's why somebody left.
muted. Right? But yeah, thanks for checking out Watch Stuff with us. Tonight we're going to be talking about Love is Blind, Season 7, Episodes 1 through 7. We have not seen episodes 7 through, I think 7 through 10 are up now, or 7 through 11 are up now. No, 8 through 11.
8, because we
Something
saw
like that.
7.
Yeah, but there's some extra episodes that are up there, but we haven't watched them yet. So we're gonna discuss what we have seen thus far. Which, as a show, it kind of surprises me how interesting it is, at least for a person like me who isn't really into these types of shows.
Right.
I'm kind of surprised that I kind of dig it, and it is interesting,
Yeah,
especially like now
it's
that
not
they've
bad.
gotten away from the pods, and like you get to see them interact with the other couples, like see them interact truly with each other. Like it is definitely different.
It's more fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun now. Yeah, so my idea for tonight is for us to go through each of the couples that are on the show right now and that are still together. And then from there, we'll also watch a breakdown that someone else did on the first 7 episodes and kind of comment on them commenting on the show as well. So just to give us some talking points. Sometimes it can be difficult to come on here and just riff about stuff. So they'll give us a few talking points and we can see if we agree with the stuff that they say or not. But yeah, let's first start off by talking about everyone's favorite couple that turned out to not be.
Oh, I was about to say, can we please talk about Leo?
Yes, we got to
Thank
start this off.
goodness that guy is gone. I could not handle any more episodes with his nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was painful. He is a not good human.
Yes.
He's icky.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling him from the jump. Just seeing the way that he carried himself, I could tell exactly the type of dude he is. He was full of himself. Trash.
Hims be trash.
He was also one of those types of guys who would like brag constantly about what they have, and like you can tell that he had no depth. Like there was nothing to him other than his money.
He's trying to overcompensate for having a crap personality by saying, but I can buy you this or this. I have all this money. And money only gets you so far in life, especially when you have zero personality and your looks are also kind of meh.
Yeah, his looks were
a little meh.
As a guy who is not attracted to men, I could definitely say that I wasn't feeling it.
And all that money, he could at least get like a better stylist or something. But,
yeah, but no, that wasn't his style. That wasn't what he was looking for.
And Brittany either, because she came out. She's like,
But we gotta start talking. We gotta talk about. Go back to Brittany.
Okay.
And like Brittany, when we first,
I am proud of Brittany.
Yes,
now go ahead.
We'll get there. But talking or hearing her speak initially, I wasn't feeling her look.
It was pretty cringy.
She seemed kind of shallow. And if you agree or disagree with us, we see there are people watching. If you agree or disagree with us, please drop your comments.
Yes, let us know your thoughts
live on the show right now. So yeah, going back to Brittany, she seemed a bit shallow. I did, by the end of her segment and time on the show, I did gain a lot of respect for her.
Same.
And I kind of liked her a little bit more. But yeah, the just her demeanor, you can kind of tell what she was about. She seemed as though she had a little bit more depth than Leo, but not very much more.
in the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning.
In the beginning.
In the beginning. Yes.
But as the show progressed, that last episode that they were both in,
when they first met each other?
Yeah, I mean, well, even prior to that, she was like, I'm not totally feeling this guy. He is just saying stuff. I know what he's talking to Hannah about. He's all over the map. like he's like, I love you, I never say I love you to anybody, and then says I love you to somebody else.
Right.
Like he's like I don't know what I want, but then he's like, this is what I've been wanting, it's you. And she's like, you said 5 seconds ago like you didn't know what you wanted. So he was a mess, and she was kind of along for the ride. Parts, I thought at certain times that she was not interested at all in him, but then she kind of kept coming back. And then they kind of just mutually agreed to give it a try. Not like an engagement, but just to give it a try. But then when they they met face to face, she was kind of like, huh? Yeah. What's that one show that they always had? Catfish. It was kind of like that, where he was putting up this persona of like his looks being different, his mannerisms being different, even his height being like just everything. And then they met, and she's like, ooh. And then, oh my God, how he was like petting her and like.
Okay, wait. Let's get back. Let's go back a little bit. Let's rewind a little bit.
It was very icky.
Just rewind a little bit. When he saw her, I mean, I think we all had it pegged. As soon as he saw her, we knew that he was going to be happy with what he saw, because that's the type of guy that would like that type of woman.
I mean, a lot of guys would have been very happy to see her.
Nothing wrong with that.
This guy had to go just first words. Damn, she's hot.
Yeah, and like, it's just
you're an icky person.
Everything about him was just totally cringe. And if you're just coming into the channel right now, we are talking about Love Is Blind, season 7, episode 1 through 7. So yeah, if you are liking what you're seeing so far, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment, and your comments will be aired live as we discuss the show. So don't be afraid. Jump in and talk with us. But yeah, just seeing the way that they interacted, like you said, once they had met each other, he was excited. You can tell that she was just like, ooh.
She's like, oh Lord.
Yeah. And
this is not what anything I was expecting.
Like he had a ugly personality to begin with, and then his looks were just average. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But if your looks like, see, somebody like me, I have to have an extraordinary personality, which I do. Awesome.
So, he does.
Yeah. So I have a great personality.
But you also have the looks.
I don't know about that. But it can make up for all the other shortcomings that I may have.
Which are none.
But some people, like him, think they're the shiz, and they really aren't. And that's, I mean, his money has him blind. Like we talk about Love Is Blind, let's talk about Money Is Blind, because his money has blinded him, and he has used that as a way to get women
as a crutch
his entire life. Like that, you can tell.
Well, no, not his entire life. Just after all of his family members died, which is supposed to be a sad thing, but he made it sound like he was very fortunate to have had his family members pass so he could come across this money. Yeah. Which I still say, there's something fishy about all that. You need to look into that, because that's a lot of family members that passed.
So you're trying to say that maybe he set it up? He set up their murders?
I mean, I do watch a lot of crime shows, so
we do too.
That's where my brain goes, is that he had something in play here. Either that, or he just has really bad genetics, and he's next. Ooh. Sorry, I went there.
Okay. So going back to Brittany real quick, it was amazing to see them in real time as we watched the show. Just see her just pull back, like slowly move herself.
Yeah, they'd be sitting together, and she'd be like,
and he's just like, all
he didn't read it right. Like, he didn't get the hints. He just kept leaning forward into her more. She kept going backwards.
I don't think it was that he didn't read her. He read it. I don't think he cared. I think he's the type of guy who would just keep going. He would just keep going.
Which is why a lot of women carry mace.
Yeah.
For him.
I get it.
Type.
And I mean, not saying that he would like hurt somebody or anything like that, but he is not going to just stop. Like he's been able to, whatever his approach is, he's been successful with this approach in the past.
I think you were right, though, when we were discussing this before, and he's probably just used that money to pay for any prior dates he's ever had with women, as in prostitution.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
Which
that's the
is,
case. Maybe.
you know, if that's your jam, go for it.
Right.
But
You
in
like it,
that
I love
case, the women are going to love whatever he's doing because he's paying them, and so he's not going to get any idea that what I'm doing is gross.
True. But at a certain point, he's going to have to leave the idea of his money being his saving grace. And I feel like he's used that so much that's like all he got. He has nothing else. He has no other type of charisma.
Zero.
In order to gain a woman who's going to love him for him. At least at this point. That's not, he still has some hope. He got some time. Maybe he'll go back and reflect on this experience and then change his ways a little bit.
No, he's just going to get somebody that doesn't mind just being a trophy wife.
Yeah. And I mean, if he finds somebody like that, cool.
That's fine. If that's what she wants, go for it. Like, whoever he ends up with, that I'm happy for her. But he's a yikes, and I could not stand being in his presence for probably more than an hour, let alone a lifetime.
Yeah, they were a couple, and a group. If you include Hannah in it as well, like we read them from the very jump, so we kind of knew what to expect with them, and that's pretty much what we got.
If anybody is a Leo fan, please comment, because I'm curious to know if anybody actually thought he was a good dude.
If somebody is feeling Leo, if you thought Leo was cool, please comment and let us know. Even if you're lying, I just want to see a comment that says, "Hey, Leo's awesome," or "Hey, Leo's a guy I would date."
I feel like anybody who said Leo is cool is a guy that's similar to Leo. Because I don't feel like any female is going to be like, yeah, he was great. I loved everything he did. Because he wasn't, especially when you compare him to the other males that are on the show. He is cringy. He's gross. He was despised by many on that show and viewers as well.
Yeah. I agree. While we got some people watching,
yes.
I just want to let you guys know that we have been able to spring for a producer for Watch Stuff with us. His name is Cornelius. He's right off camera. He's over there. What's up? And he is in charge of getting people to go out and say that they like the show and to get you to hit the like button. So the person that he was able to get this first time was Shia LaBeouf. And Shia left us a message that he would like us to deliver to you guys. So I'm going to scroll. Okay. Yeah. Play it.
Do it! Just do it! Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Nothing is impossible. No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can!
He said to push the button. Well, he didn't really say to push the button. He just said to do it, but
he really sounds like he supports Nike.
He wants you guys to just push the button. So while you're watching, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that you can get notified each and every time we go live or post a video.
This was all his idea.
No, it was Cornelius' idea.
Okay, Cornelius. Well, both of you discussed it together.
It's not just me. All right. So who's next? Let's do another fun one. Nick and Hannah. Let's talk about them.
Nick and Hannah.
We got more meat on the bone with them because they progress further in the show. So, what about first thoughts of Nick? First thoughts of Nick, quick.
My first thoughts of Nick, I thought he might have been like a little bit of a player. He kind of talked himself up a bit to all the women. And definitely in the future episodes, they were like, "Oh, he's small." We thought he was gonna. He talked him up. I believe they said he had BDE. So I'm not going to explain what that is. BDE. Yeah. So go ahead and Google that if you don't know what that is. Yeah. But he definitely had spoken highly of himself and made himself sound like he was this big athlete. Like he was taller than he was, broader than he was, perhaps. So everybody talking to him thought he was just like this big kind of macho guy. And then he comes out and everybody meets him and then like, ooh. Which is okay. I mean, he's not a bad looking dude. He's fine. I just feel like he gave the wrong
impression.
Yeah,
Maybe-
yeah. He
and,
made them think he was a little
maybe he
different.
didn't. Maybe him just saying that he's a football player and
I mean, they're
coming off as
not
a
all
little bit,
football players are big. There's
Right,
different
right.
positions. You got to.
and
Some of the
and
small guys are good.
coming off as with the BDE, and also being able to talk himself up, and he has that natural charisma. Maybe
does.
That
He is
was
funny.
maybe that was what people just imagined, that he was going to be bigger than what he actually was, and then he turned out to be a little guy, and it's okay to be a little guy. But see, the guys knew that him saying that he was a kicker, I already knew what was up. I already knew he wasn't that big.
Well, yeah, you're not going to have
that big.
Jeremy's not going to run in and go kick the ball. My God.
Odds are I'm not. No, I'm definitely not a kicker. But yeah, so
Hannah meeting him though,
Yeah.
she also had thought he was physically different than what she had in her mind already. So I think that kind of threw her off for a minute. But I do feel like as they spent more time together, she was able to put the voice with the face, and it just took her a little bit longer than some others.
However, I still feel as though that first perception of him kind of ruins what she views of him later on still. Like, I think that kind of threw her off, and she was still expecting, like she was expecting something, got something different, and then that she's never really 100% gotten over that. I don't think that she's 100%
disappointed still a little.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just, and not necessarily it's not necessarily a real problem for him. It's just a problem for her and him, in that it's not what she wanted, it's not what she saw, or it's not what she expected. And now that they are together, she can't get past that, but she's also finding these other things that she's hung up on.
Right, and Love is Blind, you're supposed to be not caring about what somebody looks like. That's the whole idea behind the show, is that you're supposed to fall in love with somebody based on their personality and not based on their looks. However, she definitely does care a little bit more about how people look than other people that had joined the show.
Mm-hmm.
So that was unfortunate when it came to her perception of Nick.
She also comes off as very immature.
She is. I'm not sure if she's actually at the point where she is ready for marriage. She might say that she is, but she still has some growing up to do.
Oh, yeah.
She thinks the world is a little bit different than what it actually is. She thinks, everybody should. I feel like she is kind of a bit of a brat. Maybe has been handed a silver spoon a time or two in her life, might be an only child. I mean, I might be misreading this, but
her head is just inflated.
She thinks that she should be treated like a queen all the time, which, I mean, you've said before, I'm a queen. I laugh about that. I say thank you, but I laugh about it. But I feel like somebody who's just like, their ego's so big and just feels like, I walk on water, everybody should bow to me. Like, I feel like that's kind of her vibe, and it's pretty immature. She has a lot of growing up to do.
Yeah, but she feels that he's immature, and she also,
which is funny.
She also takes herself, or at least when she's talking with him, she seems to take herself very seriously, and like, you would think that she'd be the type. Well, okay, when we first started, I thought that she was like party girl, like trying to have fun all the time. And I don't know if it's because she's in the relationship now and she's like nervous about him and what she wants or what she thought, but like, she doesn't look like she's having any fun at all.
No, she's become kind of a sourpuss.
Yeah.
She like sits off to the side and just like analyzes what he does and judges him for it later, and writes lists about all of his flaws that she thinks he has, things he needs to work on, leaves them out so he can just see them, which is just insert words here. That's not nice.
You gotta really think that you are an amazing person to be able to write a list about somebody and all the things that's wrong with them, and just happen to leave it out so that person would see it. Like, that's rough.
Like, that should be in your little journal thingy, and you should have still kept that in your suitcase. Like, come on.
Okay, so where we're at in the show
Yeah.
One last question about them.
Sure.
Do you think they will make it or not?
No. I'm hoping that he realizes that he's just not going to put up with this anymore. She thinks he's immature. I think he's a little childlike in the sense that, like, I am and you can be, because we're like,
Wanna
we're
have fun.
goofball. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
goofballs. We like to have fun. We like to be silly. We like to, joke around. We definitely can be serious and very mature when need be. But, like, life isn't, we don't want to have a boring life. We want to have fun. And so, like, when he got on that little duck thing and was racing,
Right.
I told you, I'm like, I would have done the same thing.
Yep.
Like, let's go. That's
Yep.
hilarious. Like, I would have been on that. So I think that he is just a fun guy, but I do think he is emotionally ready to find somebody. And I just am not sure that it's her. And I hope that he just gets to the point where he has enough respect for himself and love for himself that he says, I deserve better.
Yeah. No, I agree. 100%. I don't think they're gonna make it. I just feel like there's too much of a gap between the two of them, maturity wise,
Yeah.
and what they want out of a relationship. They're just not ready yet.
I agree.
So yeah, let's jump to our next relationship. But before we do that, if you are watching right now, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Cornelius already played Shia LaBeouf telling you to do so. So you need
probably
to do
should
that.
listen.
Also, if you're watching, please jump into the chat. We would love to talk to you about Love is Blind Season 7. So don't be shy. Don't be afraid. Jump in that chat and let us know what you think about it too.
Whether you like it, you don't like it, you like us, you don't like us, feel free to spill the tea. It's fine.
This show is much more fun when you can comment. And we will show those comments on screen and address those comments too. So don't be shy. We see you're watching, so don't be shy. Who's next? You want to go Garrett and Taylor? Yes, Garrett and Taylor.
We can.
Okay. Garrett and Taylor. I feel as though they, at this point in the show, are going to work. I feel like they're both willing to continue to try. They're both at a maturity level that they can understand that they're not going to be perfect for each other, but they are workable with each other.
Yeah, they seem emotionally mature. They seem intellectually brilliant. But yeah, fun. They like to have fun together. So far, we haven't seen any conflict yet. So hopefully things work out. We have seen those little previews though for the future episodes, so I'm a little nervous, but we'll see. I feel like they're on pretty good grounds right now, pretty solid grounds, but only time will tell.
I find it interesting that they incorporate, and like I said, I'm new to the show, so I find it interesting that they bring the parents in and that they let them have like interaction with the other person. So
I've been explaining this to him all along about how this works because yes he is pretty new to this. He's seen me watch a couple episodes in the past just randomly when he's like walking through the kitchen or whatever. But yeah, it's exciting, I think, for you because you don't know what to expect. So,
and in a regular relationship, you are eventually going to meet the parents, but to do so after only knowing this person for like, or at least physically seeing them for about 4 days, I think, at this point.
When it's like a week or something, yeah.
Okay, even if it is a week, like to then put that pressure on you, because as people, and when you're in a relationship, like I feel like there's certain steps that you take. Like you go meet the person, you hang out with them, you enjoy their company, you might do some other things at a certain point, but you don't normally jump to meeting the parents within a week. That's a really quick jump when you don't even really know the person.
Right, you got to screen them. You got to vet them. You got to make sure that they're decent people because...
Yeah, you don't want to just bring anybody to your parents.
You live and learn that you need to do that. It's very important.
Yep, and if you bring...
You passed, obviously.
Yeah, thankfully.
Yeah, yep.
But yeah, if you bring in someone and just bring them to your parents, and you don't even really know them well, like, yeah, if it was me in that situation, and I have 4 daughters, if somebody comes in this house and they don't know them well, and you start asking questions, or I start asking questions, and I don't like the answers, I'm not gonna be feeling it either. So I get why we see some sort of previews of hostility from the parents.
Right. And a lot of people, I mean, they know that their child is going on the show, so they understand the concept of the show and what it entails. But I feel like a lot of parents may not support it, as we've seen in seasons past, that they don't support such a short relationship, and they, whether it's their background and how they feel on marriage, or just whether they just really despise the social experience itself. But a lot of people don't support it, so I feel like we're probably going to get some parents this season as well that are not on board with the idea of this. But obviously we see a lot of parents that are on board with it too and think it's really cool. So I don't know. It's a 50-50 though, because then you get all those that hate the other person. You get those that love the other person, but then they break up. So
yeah,
there's a whole bunch of factors that come into play with this show.
Circling back to Garrett and Taylor, I think that there is going to be some hostility maybe from one of the parents, but I think they should eventually be able to work through it. I feel like they have enough of a base there that they will probably continue on, even though the preview did not make it look like that.
Looks like Garrett's got a little side piece, possibly, but stay tuned. We'll see.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Shame on you.
While you figure out who we're going to talk about next,
okay,
I'm going to tell you to make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that you can be notified every time we go live. We do this pretty much twice a week is what I'm going to commit to starting now. Monday,
me too.
We'll be doing this or some other show. Currently on Wednesday, this upcoming Wednesday, we will be talking about Agatha All Along. Episode 7, I believe, is where we're at on that one. Yeah, we're going to be doing a whole watch party with that one. So if you like that show, come and check that one out too. But you are here right now for Love is Blind, so let's keep it going.
Okay. I think that for the next group, I will do Monica and Steven.
Okay. Would you like to start, or do you want me to start?
I want to know your thoughts on it, so go ahead.
Steven. He's an interesting dude. I don't know as much about him as I feel like there's some skeletons there. He appears to be a decent guy, but I don't know if I trust him. Mm-hmm. Doesn't seem overly bright.
And now, like we said, we're only at episode 7 right now, so we don't know what's to come. We've heard there's some drama, but we don't know yet.
Right. So. He's probably what Hannah would expect Nick to have looked like.
Yeah.
Like the bigger dude, football player, like that type of guy.
Yeah.
It threw me for a loop that he admitted that, or at least revealed, I shouldn't say admitted like it was something bad, but he revealed that he was like a 5th black.
I was hoping you were going to say, he's black!
I can see it in his hair, his facial features.
No, I called it first. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, like, and a little something
there. DNA, poor guy. Didn't he think he was Irish or something?
He was Italian.
Oh yeah, Italian. His whole life, his family told him he was part Italian, and then he did the DNA, and it's like, what the heck,
bro?
Milkman son.
You're Nigerian like me, so you got a ways to go until you get to Italy from Nigeria. So
he does have a really cool look, though. Yeah. It's very interesting. I like his features. Yep. It's unique. It's cool. Personality wise, though.
Yeah, a little lacking. Feels like he got a brain in there, but it kind of bounces around.
Sometimes he has to reach and grasp it. Like, hold on.
Oh, okay, there we go. What was that thought? Oh, here it is.
That one's gone, not coming back.
Yeah, He doesn't seem like the brightest light bulb.
He
but
seems really nice though.
yeah, he doesn't seem like
He
a
seems
horrible
really
guy.
nice and caring. In the sixth episode, I believe it was. It was him and Monica. Maybe it was the seventh. I'm sorry, I can't recall.
6th episode. It was 6.
Him and Monica, yeah, they had the whole conversation about flowers and how he had promised.
No, that was 7.
That was 7.
That was
He had
7.
promised her in the pods that he was going to be the kind of guy that would bring her flowers. And she decided to hold him to that, even though, as he said, it was kind of more of a metaphorical thing, and that he was going to do get her little gifts and things, spoil her at times. But I think she was expecting to be receiving things often already at this point and had been let down by that. So
I mean, like, I get it, and I mean, I understand that she wants to continue to feel as though she's being swept off her feet.
right, her love language might be like just
Gifts.
yeah,
Mhm.
which is fine, but
Yeah.
and I'm glad that she addressed that to him, and she said she's not trying to be materialistic in saying so. And he felt bad. He felt really bad though. I don't know.
I don't know.
I
It's
feel
kinda-
I feel bad for him. They're still trying to feel each other out. Yeah, you can bring her flowers at some point or whatever, but I feel like he's just been a really good dude to her so far. So she needs to just be kind of patient, and maybe like once they're married, she'll receive more. But right now, he don't
Yeah.
even know like 100% how he's feeling about her.
Right, and it's kind of cringe when somebody is talking about
Where's my gifts?
Yeah, where's
my
stuff
flowers?
at? Like,
You said I was going to have flowers. Where them be?
Right. Like, I don't like that. And I mean, she is a lot like Steven, I feel. Like,
Yeah.
she has a slightly larger brain, I feel. But she doesn't seem to be very deep either. Like, she's kind of shallow too. So
She also seems kind of controlling and kind of argumentative.
Mhm,
Like she
mhm.
wants things her way and her way only, which seems to be a few of the women in the show.
Yeah, we'll get to one of those later.
They were arguing also about him second guessing things, and I don't believe that he had even said that he is second guessing things. I think he was just saying that he is still trying to figure things out, and she was just like, are you second guessing things? You need to tell me, like, what are you looking at? Like, you need to look me in the eye and tell me. And poor guy like starts getting like tears in his eyes because he's trying to just like explain, that I'm at this point. Everybody's still trying to figure everybody out, and this is just where I am. I can't say I'm 100% convinced and in for this for the long haul because I don't know you still.
Mhm.
So she was kind of
one of the cool parts about the show is that you get these people who come into it, and the objective is to find someone that you're going to marry. You take away and strip away all the different things from that's normally there in a relationship that could cloud your judgment. So all you have is the person's voice and what you talk about. And you find that these people connect really fast like that because nobody's done that before. Nobody's just strictly taken the person for their voice and what they talked about for such an extended period of time.
I mean, online dating, I suppose, could be like that.
Yeah, it can be. It can be. But yeah, normally most people aren't doing things that way.
Right. This is a little more personal.
Right. Then once you see the person for the first time, then you take a trip together, and you go from probably spending, I would guess, an hour or two a day with this person to now you're together the entire time. Like, and you see
in
this
a hotel
person
room, sharing
right,
everything, getting used to knowing who's putting
right.
the cap on the toothpaste and who's putting the seat down.
And you really only interacted with this person for maybe 10 hours total, if that.
Yeah.
If that. So you get why things are awesome in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then they sort of
And who doesn't want to go on a
off.
vacation with somebody? Like, go to an awesome place. I mean, you're going to have a somewhat decent time, I would think, getting to go to some tropical island. But yeah, I guess if you're stuck with somebody you're not really compatible with, it could go south
right.
too.
And I mean, you appear to be compatible when the goal is to find compatibility.
Right. You want to work hard to make that,
Right.
to make something work.
You don't want to be left out. You don't
No.
want to be one of the ones that doesn't get featured on the show.
Right.
So you're going to really try to make it work. And
Yeah.
in that environment,
Poor
it's kind of competitive.
She tried. She tried her best.
That environment is kind of competitive too. So you get
Yeah.
why they're, really, really trying to make it work. And then when they get in person, it doesn't really go as well. So, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. That being said, I'm JD.
I'm Katie.
And this is Watch Stuff with Us. We are going over Love is Blind, Season 7, Episodes 1 through 7 right now. If you're watching this show live or after the fact, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment. You can also be a part of the show if you're with us live right now. And if you're not, you can leave a comment after the fact and we'll still talk to you then if we like you. Who we're going to go to next?
Marissa and Rams.
Oh, man.
Ramses?
Ramses. Why isn't it Ramses? Like the Pharaoh. But
I mean,
anyway.
There's probably a story as to why it's not, but
I'm sure his parents probably named him Ramses like the Pharaoh, and then he changed it up and said, I'm going to go by Ramses because he's like that. But, I mean, you might be able to tell I'm not really feeling the guy, but you go ahead and give your breakdown first.
Them together is amazing. I think that they are cute together. I was a little worried that they'd be so similar in their personalities that they would end up realizing that they are more like just best friends than a couple, but clearly that's not the case, as they've been announcing every day that they've been getting down and dirty. So multiple times a day. So I guess that things are going well for them. They are very cute together. I feel like their vibe together is just really good. It's positive. They're happy. I don't think they've had any conflict yet. Wait. Yes, they did. They did.
About the last episode.
They did. Just that it wasn't conflict, but it was definitely a discussion about something that's very important to the both of them.
A clash in philosophies.
Yeah.
And that, it's like I said, this portion of the show is infinitely more entertaining to me than the beginning portion, in that you get to learn you get to see the depth of these people, and you get to learn so much more than what you originally thought that they were all about. So you have two people who were both in the military who have differing philosophies on the military now, who have differing philosophies on religion. And it seemed as though when they discussed those differing philosophies, that was a big negative for Ramses. And it was a little bit awkward after that point in time. And for them to have seemed like they were so close, so tight, two peas in a pod, same personality, same person, and now you start to get a little bit deeper and into the differences. And are you able to deal with and love the person for their differences and accept those differences? That's what love is all about. It's not about all the good times and all the awesome times. It's about when you get those disagreements, how are you able to deal with them?
Right. No, looking back, I'm not 100% sure that he had said that he was in the military himself. I don't think he was.
I know the
other guy was. I don't think Ramses was.
Okay.
But he is not from America originally, and so he does not like how the American imperialism and politics and everything is run over here. So that's something, he obviously is very big on peace, happiness, kind of like modern day hippie maybe, but he doesn't feel like anybody should be confined to like a box. He feels like, he says that he's not big into having to be a manly man and having that strong masculinity just because he is born a male. He feels like it's okay to embrace more feminine things, or to embrace your feelings about things, and just be more outspoken and dress how you want and all that, which is amazing. I'm happy for him. His style is unique. He seems like a great guy. But yeah, he is very anti-military, at least for the American military. And I'm surprised they didn't have this conversation in the pods. But as he had said, he was trying to just get to know her outside of her being in the military and not just kind of make that be the key thing that he remembered about her.
Yeah, and I feel like they probably should have got to this conversation in the pods. Like, what were you talking about that you didn't get into? Or, okay, I'm going to answer my own question. The reason that he didn't say and voice this displeasure about the military was because he was trying to get somebody to win the show. You know what I mean? He was trying to keep his relationship alive.
Right,
And
because
if you
it might be
come
a tough topic to talk about when you're not really sure of somebody. Because when you're, in the very first days, you're trying to just see, like, did they check this box and this box? So how do they react to this question I have? And it may have caused a rift between the two early on, and it'd be easier to say peace then than to get to know somebody better and then have this big discussion later on.
Yeah, and they seemed as though she had originally stated that she had pretty much only gravitated towards the
People in the military
right
prior,
military guys, strong military type
because
guy.
that's what all she's used to. She said that she been part of a military family since she was 2, I believe, and so that's what she is accustomed to.
Yeah, and I mean, if that's what you're used to, that's what you're used to. I feel as though if I was in that type of situation and it wasn't an actual show, I get that. But if it was an actual show, I probably would have said something about that then, like early on, like, hey,
Right.
like, I mean, I understand you were in the military and nothing against people in the military, but that's not my jam. And I don't really agree with some of the things that this country has done. I think there's ways to discuss it without offending somebody who is a person who's been involved in the military.
Right.
I don't think you necessarily have to, share that I hate blah, 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 or I don't like this. Like, no, you can say it in a way that, like, I don't really agree with everything that our military has done, but I am so appreciative of all the people who have served in our military and have allowed me to live the life that I live. Like, boom, just that, like, that simple. Then you've cleared that hurdle,
Right?
And you're not like holding something back, because I feel like he was holding that back the whole time, just because he wanted to keep going on the show.
Very possible.
Yeah. All right.
Ashley and Tyler. Okay. Oh no, I don't have anything else.
Ashley and Tyler.
Ashley and Tyler. I love Ashley and Tyler.
Yeah. I feel as though they look like I can see them like 40 years down the line.
Yeah.
Being an old couple that like still love each other. They got like, 4 kids and 12 grandkids. And,
they're adorable together.
Yeah.
They seem to really genuinely enjoy each other's company.
Yeah, they vibe well. And I know that the show is edited to knock out certain portions that probably aren't the narrative that they want to spin. But what we've been given from them right now is that they vibe well, they get along well, they respect each other. Yeah. They seem to be in sync as far as religion goes. They respect each other's boundaries. Like I said, I hope that they continue. If they seem like they have more of a chance to be successful than anybody else that I've seen on the entire show thus far.
I agree. No, they seem really close. They are not just like, they're not just trying to be in a relationship. Like, they seem genuinely like they're friends too. They love being around each other. They're very emotionally mature. They're ready for this. They share a lot of the same values. So.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see when their families meet each other. I'm hoping that it's well received.
That can throw a wrench.
It can, but I'm hoping it's well received on both ends.
Yeah, I hope so as well. If you're watching right now, this is Watch Stuff With Us. I'm JD.
I'm Katie.
And we are talking about Love Is Blind, Season 7, Episodes 1 through 7. Please interact with us. Drop a comment. Your comment will be aired on the show. We see people watching, so please comment. Yeah. Don't just let us talk to ourselves. I mean, we will.
At least we have each other to speak to.
Yeah.
We're not talking at the camera.
I've done shows by myself with no one watching. And that is an interesting experience. But, I mean, it's fine, too, because people eventually went back and watched. So, there. So, next up, who we got?
Oh, my gosh. We have Alex and Tim. I don't.
Okay, let's do early on impressions of
Okay.
them first.
Okay. Back in the pod days, I felt like they were pretty great together.
Mhm.
They seemed to vibe really well. They seemed to have a lot of the same interests and be on the same page with everything. So that I thought was pretty cute.
They cried together a lot.
He more than she, but yes.
Yeah, they shared a lot. They definitely seemed like they connected on a deeper level than just some of the other conversations and the other couples.
What do you think when they met each other?
I thought that they were okay. I felt like she was a little
Reserved?
reserved and hesitant. Like she was a little, her body language, like I'm big into body language. And I didn't realize, like, okay, you guys don't know this, but Katie and I both used to be teachers. So we also taught students who were quote unquote difficult kids.
Severe and profound. Yes.
Yes. So we had to become experts at body language and being able to see the
Just to see the
subconscious.
yep,
like,
and to read the change real quick
really
to
fast.
know what to anticipate coming. Yep.
And so seeing
Yep.
this show, I realized how in tune I am to body language and how quickly I and you could pick up on it. Like how she's getting close to me, it doesn't really bother me because I mean she's my wife and I love her. But somebody who you don't know when they're getting close to you.
Now,
like
if we
that,
were
it's a little
talking and I was
different.
just kind of like,
right,
and you'd read that
right. And I mean, and that's like
Those are
super
obvious.
basic,
Yeah.
like body language. But
Yeah.
just seeing how her body language, at least initially, wasn't as strong as his. Like he seemed very happy about everything that he was feeling her. Then you see their disagreement that they got into at the end of episode 6.
Can I say my thoughts on Alex?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Just when they initially met, I feel like Alex was very... She's not one that seems to have many facial expressions, I guess. I wouldn't say she is an RBF.
She kind of does. I didn't think
little,
about it like that.
A little,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I feel
really
like
does.
she kind of just has the same expression on her face almost all the time. And so you can't read her to see if she is feeling happy or feeling annoyed about things. And then her tone of voice that she uses a lot too is like she's annoyed. And so it's really hard, I feel, to have conversations with somebody like that when you're not knowing like how what you're saying is being received on the other end, because you feel like you're just kind of hitting this wall. And yeah, I use 500 expressions per minute, but she definitely is very kind of stone-faced throughout the whole show. And I feel like in the pods he wasn't able to see that, but now that they're together, you know, she wears the same face, the same mask every day, and that's hard.
That was also part of his problem that he had with her when they got into their argument, was that he felt as though he was saying something and he wasn't getting the correct reaction out of her.
Right.
And it might have just been because she was processing, and it might just be because that she just has that face.
I feel like she is also she's a strong lady. She has her thoughts, and I feel like she thinks her thoughts are what everybody else should be thinking. I feel like she's very stubborn. She's very controlling.
Immature too, I think.
Yep. I mean, he was like, "You put your hand over my mouth. I was trying to talk." And he was saying, you know, you got to take turns. You can't just talk all the time. You have to talk and listen. He's like, "You weren't letting me speak," and that's really frustrating, especially when you get to the point where you think that you have this amazing connection with somebody, but then you have your first disagreement and it's so bad that you end up sleeping in different rooms for days. So that was difficult. But at least when they crossed the physical and metaphorical bridge together, they decided that they were going to continue working through things, and he was going to go back and sleep in the same bed as her that night. So
yeah,
we'll see how it goes forward with them.
Can I say one more thing I didn't like about her?
Of course.
I didn't like, and we both commented on this, that when he said that he needed space, she continued to invade his space and kind of like force him to to be around her, like, that is not a good sign. I've been in a relationship before where somebody was like that, and they just kind of like don't. No, definitely not you. I love it when you invade my space.
Hey.
Hey, but just when you don't want that person around you and they continue to be around you, that
Right.
is triggering.
Especially
That is
after
very
conflict, you
big
really
trigger.
like some people need their space. I mean,
Yes.
even at times I've needed my space, and I feel like it's really hard when you just need to be able to process and cool off a little after whatever debate argument you just had. And that poor guy really, really just wanted his space. He came back to talk to her, which was great. He even reached out his hand to try to hold her hand, and that was well received. But then she was like, "Come over here," and he was like, "No, I'm not ready for that yet." So instead, she goes and scoots all up in his space,
Right.
which then is that's just a jerk move. Like,
Yeah.
you're just trying to take what he's not wanting to give you, and
Right.
just I don't know, just being all up on there. And then he wasn't even able to make eye contact with her because he was so uncomfortable and upset in that moment. And that was just really sad to see, because this poor guy, he's trying, he's there, but she's just pushing and pushing at him.
Yeah, and it's not a good look. That's not a
No.
good look. Hopefully, they'll be able to better explain, or at least when they run into a problem again, they'll be able to deal with it a little bit better.
They did talk about how they each were feeling when they had their disagreement, so hopefully now they know like how to communicate better, like you said.
Yeah. All right. Well, you figure out who we're going to go to next. I will tell you guys to continue to like and subscribe to this channel. I believe we are at 181 subs as of this morning on YouTube and 50 some odd on TikTok. So we are definitely looking to increase those numbers, and you can help with that. Only you can help with that.
Only
Hit that
you
like
can
button.
prevent forest fires.
Yes, that was the reference I was going for.
Oh, I did it.
So hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, make sure you comment, and it'll make us very happy if you do that.
Love, I think we did them all.
Is that it?
I mean, we talked about Taylor and Garrett.
Yeah, we talked about Taylor and Garrett.
And we talked about Ashley and Tyler, and Hannah and Nick, Monica and Steven, Alex and Tim, and Marissa and Ramses. So,
Man.
And we even talked about Brittany and Leo in the beginning.
Wow, I feel like that like flew by. As we talk about it now, I'm more excited to watch the rest of it. So in the future, we are definitely going to watch the rest of the episodes. I think the way they broke it down is that, I don't know if it's this week or next week when the finale is, but whenever they have either the finale or when they do the reunion episode, whenever that comes out, that night we will do another live chat.
I'm so excited for the reunion. I feel like it's going to be juicy. I know there's going to be a lot of stuff coming up soon, and just by watching past seasons, I know how much drama can show up even at the very last minute. So I am a little excited about that. I do feel like this show, though, the company makes a lot of the drama. Mm-hmm. Like, they will bring back people that,
of course, that's entertainment.
Right. They'll bring back people. They'll have exes come and get involved. Like, they try to start the drama. So it's hard because it's not real life.
Yeah.
None of it's real life.
No. It's entertainment, and we are only getting what they want us to see. So there may be some other moments that would be awesome to see and might give a little context to some of the things that we've seen, but they haven't chosen to give us that. So we kind of can only work with what they show us. But It's been entertaining thus far. As a person who has not watched this type of show before, I'm feeling it. I feel like it's fun. So I'm cool to continue to watch it. If you're a fan of this show, you will know that once you hear this music is the time that our stream is coming to. I hope you enjoyed rocking with us tonight. I see that we got some people watching now at the very end of the show. If you want to watch, I'll hang around with extra, and we can do it. But we're gonna have to jump in and start jumping in right now. Yeah, but
We'll answer your questions and comments later too.
Yes,
Feel free to leave them at any point.
100%. Always say, hit the like button, subscribe button,
Hit the button.
hit all the buttons, push the button.
We still have no, but not that I know, but probably. Sometimes people push my buttons.
Glad you did.
No.
But yeah, we really are thankful that you were able to watch this. Please don't be a stranger. Like I said, this week we will be coming back on Wednesday to talk about Agatha All Alone.
Yes.
Tune into that, especially if you like that show. And if you don't like that show, just watch it for us because you're awesome.
You're pretty decent.
I'm JD.
I'm Katie.
Thank you so much for rocking with us. See you later.
Bye.